It's not gonna work. Hello. Hello, I'll be right there. Okay, it was so bright. I had to close a blind, which I hate to do. How is everybody? Hello, hello. Good to see you. Hi, Robin. Chelsea. Hi, Catherine. Krista. Yay. I guess I'm so excited. All right. Let me see here.
Krista and I have been having dueling debates about how cold it is. It's colder here. No, it's colder there. It's cold. It's just cold.
It is freezing. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Let me see here. I hate it when autocorrect keeps autocorrecting. You know, you fix it like 4 times. Okay. Let's see. We're gonna get rid of this. I have too many windows open. All right, let's see. All right, hey Ashley. All right, hey Tammy, Amber. Oh, so good to see. Well, I can't see you, Amber. Heather, you guys better put your faces on. Are you kidding me? My hair won't curl or hold a curl today, and I was like, I'm doing Zooms all day, and I have to do my makeup and hair. It's not working out, but it's okay. So, oh, okay, Heather, you're excused. Heather is feeding her baby, so that's okay. All right, so I look like I have an 80s mullet here. Probably a little bit too old for y'all to even get that joke. Tammy, you don't know how? So Tammy, if you are, Robin's the only one that does. Thank you, Robin, for being my sounding board. Okay, so Tammy, what you do is if you're on the bottom screen, there's video. It says stop video or start video, like that, so you can turn it off and on. And then the same thing, if you're on your phone, just kind of keep scrolling over until you see that option. So hi, Tammy. Hey, Jennifer. And I'm going to batch it up. I still do. Cheyenne. I hope I got it right. Hey, Samantha. Okay. So I'm kind of all over the place again because I have all these things that I want to do. So if you haven't seen yet, I just posted it on our team pages. Hey, Keisha. I want you all to know that we have a Zoom at 3:05. So some of us have been privy to get a peek, just really honestly a peek about what's coming around the corner. We don't have 100% details, but we have a good chunk of it. And so something super fun, super exciting. I feel like it could be revolutionary. And maybe that's a strong word, but I feel like it could be. And so we have that, and we're going to be on a Zoom at 3:05. I have messaged Denise, and I'm like, what group are you going live in? Because I want to go live in my group, and I have a couple groups. I have the Better Together, but then my team. I have some team whose groups that they didn't get invited to it, so I want to go on there. So we're just going to do a Zoom all at the same time. And Denise is going to give us a broad overview, and we're just going to chime in. So super exciting. So 3:05, jump on that. So what I want to do is really kind of make sure that our ducks are in order. So we alluded to this last week about just getting on target. So some things that I hope that you have looked at, that you have thought about is looking at your goals, right? So we're having a dream board party, local dream board party in January, and it's talking about like the dream boards were on sale. I don't know if they're still on sale right now. I haven't looked, but they were like 30% off, so you get that. Do you need that? No, it's fun if you want to get it, right? You don't need that. All you really need is you can go to the dollar store and get get just like a white piece of, cardboard type of sign, and create a dream board with your family. Include the people in your life in this, because y'all are going to be working together. Your kids and your spouse maybe may not be helping you with the business per se, like the nuances and the details of it, but they're going to be supporting you from the sidelines. And like for my kids, that means like, hey, guess what? I have a couple extra Zooms, or I have a couple extra phone calls, or maybe I'm doing a couple extra hours of work this week. And so that's just the way that it is right now. And by far, it's not even close to the 50 or 60 that some children have to deal with just so the parents can make ends meet, right? We get to work extra hours so that we can build our business even further than it is now. I mean, that's an option that we have. And so it's a free will thing for you guys to take advantage of, in my opinion. So with all of that being said, let them be involved in the dream board. Maybe a vacation, maybe something that they want. I'm actually going to tell myself, incentive-wise, there's some things that I want for myself. I want to purchase for myself. Can I afford to go out and get it? Yeah. And it's just little things, even sometimes like going and getting a new shirt, so you have something different in your closet instead of the same old, same old. But I'm going to create a list for myself of things that I'm going to be able to purchase with my Fast Start bonuses. That's a way for me to make sure that if I get my Fast Start bonuses, I have to sign up a distributor, help them get their 2 to 4 loyal customers. And then by doing so, I get rewarded. And so I can use that money. That's bonus money that I'm going to use for myself for extraneous stuff, right? And so you can do that. But you also need to know what your goals are then. So you have your dream board, you have your things that you want, things. Sometimes we choose to call it a goal board. When I hit such and such rank, I'm going to be able to do such and such thing. So get your dream boards, your goal boards, get your goals down, think about what you want. And I've talked in the past that I think it's really wise. Denise had taught me this years and years ago. I think we might even heard it at a conference, to be honest. How information gets passed through so much that sometimes you forget the original person, the creator of it. But create your goals in segments. Think about, where do I want to be in 3 months, in 6 months, in 12 months, in 3 years, and 5 years. 3, 6, 12. You could even throw an 18-month in there, and a 3-year. You could even do 5-year. It's kind of how your brain works. How, if you feel like, oh, I cannot hold on for 5 years, like that's just eternity for me, then throw that 18-month in and that 3-year. Maybe that would be a good starting point for everybody to do that, because we all know that things take time. If you were to go out and ask for a franchise to open up a Chick-fil-A or a Subway or a Jimmy John's or whatever, if you were to go ahead and do that, that would take time. It would take time business-wise for you to even get the ability to have the store. And then you'd have to break ground and you'd have to build the store, right? So you wouldn't even have a profit immediately in 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, 18 months. That would not happen. Maybe your store would get up and running in 9 months. I don't know what the timetable is. So we need to think about this in business terms and think about, what do you want out of it? What are you going to sacrifice? When I first started, I had told Denise that I was going to give it 3 years. My goal was to make $20,000 a month, and I was willing to give it 3 years. Now that sounds a little bit absurd sometimes, right? But I knew I could make that goal because that's what she was making. She was making closer to $30,000 in 3 years. And I thought, well, if she's making $30,000 in 3 years, then I could probably make $20,000 in 3 years. I know that I'm not going to make that kind of money in 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. I know that's probably not going to happen. It's not realistic. We owned a business. My husband was a chiropractor and he owned his own practice. And we knew that he was not going to make that kind of money right from the get-go. It just is not going to happen. And so that was my goal for myself. So I didn't have unrealistic expectations. So that means that after 18 months when I wasn't, 15 months, 12 months, when I wasn't making that kind of money, I didn't quit and say, oh, this is baloney. This is a scam. It's a scheme. I am not going to do this. No, that's not what happened. So anyways, have those goals for yourself. Now, with that being said, let's talk about some systems. Have you guys been thinking about systems, working on systems for your teams? One thing that I would really like for myself is my Word I don't know if you should think about it this next week, but think about a word for yourself that you would like. Something that's going to encompass maybe what the next year is going to look like for you. Whether, it be growth, development, patience. I don't know what your word is going to be. I think really what's kind of stuck to me is I have a couple things that really hit me. One of them was balance. I feel like I do really good. I'm really excited to be gung-ho about stuff. And then something happens and I get just like disrupted. Does that happen to any of you? Like you're like, I'm on my game, I'm good, I'm getting my momentum, and then I get disrupted. And so then I feel like, oh my gosh, it's an all or nothing thing. And it's not an all or nothing thing. Why do we tell ourselves that? Why do we keep putting those restrictions on ourselves? Life is not an all or nothing thing. It's a manageable thing. It's gonna have ups and downs. And the thing about life and the thing about success with business is there's going to be things that happen. Good things and bad things, regardless, and out of our control things. But what makes us successful and what makes you good leadership is by rolling with the punches and saying, hey, this is not really how I expected it to go down. It's not really what I wanted. It's not what I would have planned. But how can I take this situation and change it so that it's positive? What can I take from this and implement it so that it's going to be beneficial? That's what we need to do with all things that are coming our way in this business. So how can we take it, roll with it? That's basically what's coming down the pike. So with that being said, it's really important to have these systems in place, because when we hit those speed bumps in our life, in our business, we have an opportunity to say, oh, that's okay. I have a system that I can get back to. I am not completely rocked off my game. So for me, I felt like I was getting going. I was starting my top 10 team and doing mentorships every month. And then all of a sudden, baby Briar came into my life. And she was not expected. And she came with about 6, 7, 8 weeks notice of her being born, that she could possibly be my daughter. And so we rolled with it. And what happened is my business got a little bit rocked, because all of a sudden I had this new human being to focus on, things to do for her. And so now the pendulum's swinging back again. She's 4 months old. I'm finding, okay, we can get back to this. I've done this before. This is my 5th child. We can roll with this, right? But to have systems. And so my word for 2018, I really feel is balance. I feel that if I can implement a strong and good balance in my life with my business, with my systems, then that's going to allow me to be a better leader. It's going to allow me to be a better student. The other thing that shifted for me, this like paradigm shift for me, is I am in my brain not teacher. I always thought of myself, oh, so you're the ambassador diamond, you're the leader, you have to lead them, you have to teach them. I did team calls for 6 years every Tuesday night. And I've recently, in the past year and a half, rolled it over. Denise started doing a team call again at the same time slot that I had my team calls. I was frustrated at the beginning thinking, I've been doing this for 6 years. Now, wait a second, I can't compete, People are going to rather listen to Denise than listen to me. What am I going to do? But I've recently, said, not recently as in the last couple months, but in the last year said, you know what, we're going to roll with it and let it be. And it's good because it's one less thing that I have to manage, right? She can take that and we can help. But it's finding that balance and finding the things that we can roll with and have those systems in place so that we can be good students as well. For me, that's that paradigm shift of not having to be the teacher, but I'm going back into student mode because there's things that I want to learn and there's things that I need to do to better myself as a leader, as a distributor for my own enrollments. I mean, I cannot stop doing what I did to be here in the first place. So those systems. So when I think about systems, think about your word. So think about your word. What would your word be? Mine's balance, shifting over from teacher to student. And then also, this is just really kind of like the other day, I just felt this very strongly. I just want to kind of be that light. I want to be refreshing. I want to be able to breathe in that energy to people. And I can't do that if I'm stagnant. And I can't do that if I stay in teacher mode and I don't go into student mode and I don't put my feet back where they were before. You know, like I don't put myself in other people's shoes. So all of that's been kind of like, where am I coming from when I'm thinking about these systems? So I really would love to hear from you. Let's just brainstorm. I don't want this to be me lecturing, talking at you, but let's just break it down really quick over the next, I don't even know how much time we have, 45 minutes here, to look at loyal customers. I think it's smart. We always want to look at recruiting, retention, and revenue. That is what drives our business. That is it. Recruiting new loyal customers, recruiting new distributors, retaining the ones that we have, which equals our revenue, the money, the volume that's coming into our system. We are business owners. We have an amazing business that we can work with people, but at the end of the day, this is a business. This is not a hobby. This is not a social club. What those pieces are benefits to our business. Friendship, fun, freedom. Those are perks that come along with this business. At the end of the day, we all have to have an income of some sort, most likely, right? That's why you're doing it. Now, some of you are doing it strictly for the friendship, fun, and freedom, and that's great. So let's look at this as a way that you could be better at that. You can create more friendships, you can have more freedom, and you can have even more fun if you just push your business to the next level, even if it is more on an entertainment value for yourself, right? If you're like me, we're like, this is our income, this is my bread and butter because I have this goal board that I want to do this, and this, then let's look at loyal customers in terms of retention. How are we retaining our loyal customers? Then we also want to look at how are we recruiting? How are we recruiting new loyal customers, new distributors, and then we also want to look at retaining our team, right? I feel like we have really good, strong supports for that. And so we talk about retaining our teams. I think that there is a fine line between being a coach, being a mentor, being a support, and enabling our teams too. So let's just talk about that really quick, because I think that's going to be the quickest one, because that doesn't really make us that much money. So, I mean, it does make you money. You want to retain your team. But this is more of a social aspect of our business, I think, right? I think when we get into this business, we all get into this business for ourselves. We want to be our own boss. How many of you, like, raise your hands or put a chat, right? Carmela Drive, that's a good one. So how many of you got into this business so that you could be managed by somebody else? No? Are you sure? Are you sure you don't want a boss breathing down your neck? Are you sure you don't want somebody to say, oh my gosh, I cannot believe you did not get any loyal customers this week. You didn't sign up anybody? Are you kidding me? You're fired, right? Nope, none of us want that. None of us. Because I guarantee we are our worst enemy when it comes to that. How many of you feel bad if you don't complete the steps to success in a month? I do. I don't need anybody to tell me that I did not complete the steps to success. And believe me, there's been months that I've not completed the steps to success. I don't need anybody to tell me that. I know this, and I'm probably harder on myself than anybody else thinks about it, okay? So we hold our own ruler for success within ourselves, and it's up to us. Because Krista's definition of success may be way different than mine. Her definition of a success might be like, I gotta complete steps to success 5 times each month, and if I don't, then I'm so mad at myself. Where my definition of success could be, hey, I gotta do it once. That's the bar that I'm gonna hold myself to, right? So everybody's is gonna be a little bit different. What I do hope is that everybody's measure of success is at least 1 step to success. I mean, that would be phenomenal. But regardless, we don't need anybody else breathing down our neck. Now, do we need coaches and mentors to say, hey, good job, you did this, I'm proud of you, I see that you're working. I know that sometimes I have worked my butt off and I have not had any enrollments. but that does not mean I'm not working. So I think this year, for me, I'm going to try to spotlight more of that. That's hard. That's hard to see what people are doing when they don't have those results, right? So what we can do is we can get into this situation where we're mentoring a few people at a time and just really kind of work with them. And so maybe as leadership, maybe that's a cycle that you can get into, is you can pick 2 or 3 people a month to just kind of tune into, right? And then they kind of stick up on your radar. That kind of a thing might be beneficial for us to look at. One of the things that we do sometimes is we really love on them. And these yellows. Yellows are so good at loving on people. So good. Such great enablers. You, Robin. And
you love my yellow office, don't you? You just love it.
Oh my gosh, yes. Mine's like, I don't even know. But yes, yellow fits your personality. However, yellows can sometimes get into a bad habit of enabling, right? And sometimes we just pull and pull and pull and pull them along. We just, Carmela, are you nodding because you are that yellow too? I think you're a yellow. So, I mean, you can do that. I want you guys to be very careful with that fine line of spoon feeding people and also teaching them to do it themselves. If they've been in the business for 3 to 6 months, and you've talked with them in the beginning and you've plugged them into the team page and they know how to access the calls, you don't have to remind them every time that there's a call. You don't have to because I know you want them on it, but they have no ownership whatsoever then in the business. And so this is where I get into the situation where I'm talking with a few girls right now and I've opened it up that people need help. I'm helping them. But I've got a few people now who are like, yeah, I built them, or they were almost this rank and then they just quit. Okay, well, let's look at that team. Well, it turns out that enroller, the person, put everybody underneath them. That person could walk away from their business when they're almost a diamond because they didn't personally enroll any of their team. They had no skin in the game. They had no investment. Their sponsor said, this is the call, this is the Zoom, this is the new promotion, this is the new thing, this is what's going on. Here, let me hold your hand, hold your hand, hold your hand. Oh my gosh, you're almost executive. And then I'm going to give you 3 more distributors. And now you're going to be a diamond. And then they walk away and we can't understand why they walked away. It wasn't their game. Let's make it their game. Let's make it their business, So we have to watch that when we're talking about retention with our distributors. And you have to know that you've equipped them, just like our children. Pam Souders used this example, and it kind of comes, she's like, I taught my kids how to bathe themselves because so now that they're in their 20s, I don't have to, right? I don't go in and give my 8-year-old a shower. He's perfectly capable of doing it himself. Is it probably as thorough as if I went in and showered him? Maybe he forgot to wash underneath his pits. I don't know. He's going to figure it out. And when puberty comes and he likes girls, he's going to figure it out even more. It's going to happen. I gave him the basics, and he's going to learn because it's going to be his game, not mine. And so that's what I want you guys to focus on with your team this year. Make it theirs. Give them the ownership. And I know we love our people, and I know we want to take such good care of them. And I'm not being anti-yellow at all because I'm not saying walk away. I'm saying be there to hold their hand, but walk next to them instead of walking in front of them. Okay? Be their partner in this business. And if you ever got to get behind somebody and just push them along, you don't want them in your business. They're probably better off as a customer. So sign them up as a customer and place them under a DT to get you faster. I mean, that's the way that a business model would work, right? So, I mean, I've done that. You know what? I think maybe you're better off as a loyal customer. Should we just do that for you? And they're like, yeah, let's do that. I'd rather get perk points. Okay, fantastic. And I got my fast start. And everybody's happy. They don't feel the pressure of being a distributor when they truly didn't want it. They're getting their products that they wanted in the beginning. And now I don't have a stressful relationship with them either. So that's one thing about retaining your teams. So let's talk a little bit about retaining loyal customers. How are you guys working to retain your loyal customers? What kinds of systems do you have? I can give you some really good ideas for systems, but I can tell you firsthand too, this is my weakness. I know what to do, I don't do it. So I need to pick a system for 2018, I need to implement it. I'm really good at that part. So what do you guys have going? Go ahead and you can just unmute yourself. What kinds of things do you have going to retain your loyal customers? Anybody really good at it?
Once a month, I will go through, and I love going to Home Goods, getting my Home Goods Happy On, or going to TJ Maxx and just finding a bunch of like really cheap, like I got 40 of these for $5 from TJ Maxx, and just says thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And just sending a little card, and then sometimes I'll grab a greens, just if they've not tried a greens, I'll just throw in a berry on the go, or I'll throw in a wow sample and say, thank you for being my loyal customer. You know, I usually try and make sure I do that at the beginning of the month. So I set a deadline that I have to have it done by the 15th because I want to make sure that I'm retaining them if their order hasn't gone in yet, or maybe they were thinking about leaving, that way I can still catch them.
Do you send a thank you every month?
Every month.
Wow, that's a bit ambitious. I know for myself that would not work.
But everybody's different. It is. And sometimes I found that it was too much for me to be texting people, but when they get something in the mail, it's just that, I don't know, the handwritten card. I did it in sales before, and I used to start writing Christmas cards before Thanksgiving to all of my customers. So I got customers back, so it worked for me.
Okay, so how do you keep track of them in the first place? Because do you place your loyal customers?
I do place some loyal customers, but I keep track of my organization details as well. So I will run the organization details report and spit it out into an Excel spreadsheet, which then I can use to print labels.
Okay.
So if you go into the reports, organization details, you can filter for your loyal customers. Like you can sort it by that. And then I just print out their labels. So it sounds like a lot of work, but all I'm writing in the card is, thank you so much for being a customer. Let me know if you have any questions, Robin, smiley face.
So you're sending loyal customers out to everybody in your organization?
The whole organization, not just mine.
And so how do your distributors feel about that?
They've had mixed emotions, and we've talked about it though. A lot of times I've talked to my distributors when they come on board and say, this is what I normally do.
Okay.
And they're like, oh, but it's to their benefit as well. So I've had some pushback that would say, but that's my customer. But I'm not trying to take them away from you. I'm opening the door. There's another support there for that customer. And so we've actually retained more customers in the organization. So
I think that's a great idea, and I think it's definitely, I think for me, I could implement a thank you at the beginning.
Yeah.
And you'll probably have to rethink your system shortly, because as your organization grows, there's no way. I don't want to send out thank you cards to my ambassadors, all of the loyals in my ambassadors team or my presidentials teams. No way, because that's all I would be doing. But that is a really good suggestion. I like that. So that's something. So if you don't have a team, or
you're growing,
yep. Or you could keep a running list of your own personally enrolled loyal customers and do it that way too. Yeah.
And ask for referrals.
Yes, that's really good. Yes. So thank you cards with you could do that every month if you so desired. You could do that at the beginning when they ordered with you, or you could do it at the beginning, and then you could also, when we do get greens, like when the greens came out in samples, or when the WOW came out, or the keto coffee, that could be expensive depending on how many loyals you have. But those are options for everybody. That's perfect. Thank you, Robin. What else do you guys okay, what else do you guys do?
I use the Reach app, and I found that it's been really helpful with iPhones, and then categorizing it with old LCs, active LCs, old team, new team, because a lot of times you can flip your old team into LCs, because a lot of times they still like the products and they want to flip. I know for me, I've been able to retain quite a few since I originally signed up in 2013, my LCs to continue to order. And I originally did, when they first order, I do thank you cards. And I say, thank you so much for entrusting me in your journey. And I explain the loyal customer program. And I'll also include a sample and encourage them, if they're wrapping only, to try the greens, as they'll enhance the wraps and people will continue to buy that product. Also, like, I have a spreadsheet that has their birthday on it, and after they've hit a year in the loyal customer program, I'll send them, whether they're ordering skincare, that's probably my biggest seller, I'll send them a free facial and say, thank you so much for your loyalty and enjoying the It Works products. I hope you enjoy a spa facial on me. But a lot of times, like, I'll just send like a reminder to myself to check in with certain LCs. And I hate to say it this way, some of the bigger orders, and say, how are your kids? How's Timmy doing at soccer? Wow, I can't believe Sally got her braces off. You know, just that personal touch. But again, too, like, having to deal with the LCs that my DTs are gone, like trying to still maintain some of those relationships, the Reach app has been helpful. Just saying like, hi, my name's Joe. I'm with It Works. I know you've ordered products in the past from so-and-so. I'd love to help you again if you're interested. And I've actually got a couple orders off of that from the Reach app, which makes it so easy to send 200 plus messages, you know, in minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. And I have downloaded, I haven't used it yet, but I think it's a great way. I'm going to start implementing it. So if they text, you can ask their customers. It's a mass text app. So
Yeah.
It looks like it's coming from you individually. So like when Joe is saying I have a list, you can categorize them. So she could have an LC list. So every time she gets a new loyal customer, she can add them to the LC list with their name and their phone number. And then when she wants to send a text like, hey, thank you so much for your order. I've been thinking about you. If there's any questions, if you have anything, we have this new product being launched. I'd love to explain it a little bit more. Or if you want to order it, you can log into your eSuite, whatever she wants to say. And then she can say, send to LCs. And she might have 100 LCs on that list and send them all out. And it looks like Joe sent them a specific one-on-one text.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And just a reminder when you're programming it in, because you have to hand program these in, that's probably the longest thing. To remember, don't write LC when you program people's in, because if you use the @ when you send it, it's going to say, hello, LC, Sally Smith. So you want to make sure you don't put LC in front of their name, because it'll actually message in your message to them when it says LC.
So don't do it where?
When you're programming it in, you know how I know for me, sometimes I'll put like LC Sally Smith, and in the note sections, I'll put like greens. So when you use the @ when you send these, don't put in LC, because it'll say, hello, LC Sally Smith, instead of just Sally.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you can put them in the LC list, but just put their name. Don't like separate. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Yeah. That's good to know.
Yeah, definitely. And this is for iPhone only. I'm really sorry. I know Jen Hart and I tried to figure out Mighty Text on her phone, but we couldn't get it to work. So it is an iPhone only application.
Yep. But Mighty Text, Mighty Text is the one that you can use for Androids.
Yeah. If anyone has suggestions how that works, let us know, because I can't figure it out.
Denise uses it.
Oh, really?
Because I was waiting and waiting and waiting. When the Reach came out, I just heard about it not too long ago. I was like, oh my gosh, finally, like years ago I was asking. Like,
I know.
So yeah, so this is really exciting. So like Mighty Text started it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so glad we have an application. I've been waiting to. I was like, how do I buy an Android phone?
I know, right? Yeah. So using that Reach app, before I forget, some of you may do this, but having a loyal customer page too. So I had a loyal customer page that I shared with an old DT, and I'm off of it now. But I would basically say, hey, you know, most of them were from Facebook anyways, but I'd say, hey, do you mind if I add you to a group for loyal customers? We don't post much on it, so you won't have a lot of like spam. You know, you won't have tons of notifications. I'm not posting every day. But when we have promos and we have specials, I definitely post on there. So I'm not even checking in on, we didn't even post on that page like, hey, happy Monday, everybody. We didn't even do that stuff. It was just like, we have a promo coming on, or happy holidays, or something that was, you know, coming up. And most of the people would say, oh yeah. So the same thing. Sorry, dog. She's in my seat. So most of the time, I'm like, what's that noise? My dog whining, because I'm sitting on her. But I would just say, do you mind if I add you to this page? And they would say, oh yeah, thanks for asking. So you could say the same thing. Do you mind if I text you every now and again with, updates? It's just a courteous thing to do, and then they kind of expect it and they feel special. So what else do you guys do for loyal customer retention?
I have a quick question back on that Facebook page idea. My only concern has been, and why I haven't done it, is handling that negative feedback, which I think is something normal when we have online businesses, or somebody says, okay, so I tried the wrap and it didn't work. And true story, I sent a wrap to a friend of mine who is an entrepreneur, very smart lady, and complains that the wrap didn't work because she didn't unfold it. True story. True.
Well, I never had anything on that, my page.
Okay.
So we would ask for interaction, but mostly they didn't interact much. They weren't using it as a social platform. So we would somebody might every now and again pop on and say, how do I change my auto ship again? Now, while we're talking about that, you know that in the eSuite, there's a feature now that they can click so that you can help them. Okay? You as the enroller, even if you place them under somebody else, you can, if you put their first order in, you can say, would you like to grant me permission to help you with your auto ship changes or any order changes? And so you can go in and you can pick just auto ship or order changes or whatever. And then, because they can pick between the enroller and the person they were placed under, which is really cool. So then when you go to your eSuite, you can go to your eSuite and you can go in and change and edit your loyal customers' orders for them right away. So that's kind of a nice feature that corporate's rolled out that I don't really think that we take super advantage of. But so that's an option for us to do. But I never had anybody other than, can you help me with my auto ship? Can you do this? If they've had an issue, I would just say, oh my gosh, I am so sorry. Let me message you and let's troubleshoot this. That's all I would put on the page. Same thing as if somebody posted on my regular wall complaining, like, oh my gosh, I'm going to message you. Let's figure this out. And so if you just stay positive on the page, like, oh my gosh, let's troubleshoot. Let's get this figured out for you. This product is amazing. I want to make sure that it's working for your benefit. I'm going to message you. I would put something like that in, positive, and then message them. But yeah, so the team pages, or the loyal customer page. Anybody else?
Okay, I'll go. So I went to a mini boot camp up in Toledo, a month ago or so. And so this is something that I know that I really have to work on. So I've been trying to, with all of my November loyal customers and stuff, I've been really trying to use these tips. And I really feel like I have the best connection with the people that I signed in November than I have the entire time that I've been in this business. So I know that's something that is working for me, and I really need to focus on that coming into 2018. So after you sign them, I've been trying to send like a thank you. I'll send them their info to log in and everything, because I usually sign them myself, get their info and put it in myself. And then 2 weeks later, I follow up with them to see if they got the product. And if they got the product, if they've started using the product. Because a lot of people get it and then it just sits there and they don't ever even open the product. So that's 2 weeks. And then right before their second order, I see how they're liking the product. That way, if we want to switch up the product or they want to add something, we could get that added for their second order. And one thing that I learned was we're the experts. Like, they don't know our products. So if something's not working for them, like, we need to suggest something else or for them to add something. So that's a really big thing. And then at 3 months, you tell them that they completed, or like they did their 3 months. And if they do another 3 months, that you'll give them 50 free per.
Oh, your volume is cutting out.
Oh, can you hear me now? Okay. So at 3 months after their third order, I'll tell them that they have their 3 orders, and if they did another 3 orders, that they would get $50 free, or I would give them $50 free. So I don't tell them about the 6 months or 12 months in the beginning. I usually do say that they're going to get free perk points to earn free product. But I don't ever say anything about the 6 and 12 months, because I just feel like that's way too much information for them to understand in the beginning. So it was Morgan McIntyre that was talking about this. And I really liked the idea, because she was like, when you say, I'll give you $50 free, like, they're like, oh, wow, like, that is so nice. And they don't know that it's the company that just loads it into their account. But when you say it's like from you, they're like, oh, wow, that's really nice. And she's like, most of the time, like, they will go to do an extra 3 months, because when you say 6 months, it sounds long. But if you say 3 more after they did the 3, then it doesn't sound like as much.
Right. And you're making sure to say, I'll give you $50 towards product, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Just to clarify, because I know
yes,
people
not
said something and you're like, ah.
Yes.
So good. And the other thing too is that people are like, oh no, I'm good. The other thing that you could come back with at 3 months is, okay, that's great. So I also want to let you know that you have X amount of dollars, because you have their perk points. So you can look and see, and so you have X amount of dollars to use towards a package. So now you can upsell them, right?
Yep.
So if they've got $30, you can be like, oh my gosh, you have $30 that you can put towards the skinny pack or the whatever, right? And so you could kind of throw it that way too, and then they're like, oh, okay, well, yeah, I guess I might as well get it. It's almost half off or whatever. So
right. Yeah.
You can utilize too to your benefit was their perk points, and just let them know what they are. Go to their account and see what they are, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, I think is perk points an option for you to check in the back when you take care of
it is. You can see their perk points.
Yeah. So you can do that. So that's a really good tip too. Amber Parker does that. So that's good. I love that. Okay, so first month after the first order, you check and see how it's going. Make sure that the products are working for them. And then after the third month, you let them know that if they do 3 more, they can get $50 in free product from you. That's perfect.
Yep.
I love it. So how are you keeping track of your loyal customers? Are you writing pen to paper? Do you have an Excel list? Do you keep it in your phone?
So I started just writing it right in my daily planner. I had like a calendar book. And so at the beginning of the month, I made a goal of how many loyal customers. So like November, I wanted to sign 5 distributors and 12 loyal customers. And so I numbered it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, in my, at the very top of my calendar. And so every time I signed one, I just wrote their name. And then I actually wrote it on the day that they also ordered it. That way I can follow up in 2 weeks, a month. And it seemed, I feel like I'm not a super organized person. So that seemed to be easy for me, because I could just flip back to November and be like, okay, they ordered on this day. I should probably follow up now. Yeah, absolutely. Now I know people who have, got a Rolodex and put their name in, right? And do you guys even know what a Rolodex is? It's like a spinning thing. Yeah. Index cards. Or, that's old school. Or you could take a little accordion file with index cards, put their name, their ID number, phone number, address, whatever you want, birthday. But so let's say they ordered today on the 27th of December. So you would put that in there, and then you would go to January 27th, and you could maybe move it up a few days and check before or a few days after to make sure that they got their first month's order shipped. Like you can move it to whenever you want to check in on them. So that's an option too. That feels a bit too like hands-on. Okay, so Robin's got something like that. She's a paper girl. So I have my steps to success.
I'm old.
I know, you, me, girl. So I have steps to success, right? So I just write my steps to success, all my loyal, so I would put my distributors' names and ID numbers and my loyal customers' names and ID numbers. And so I would print one off, 12. I've told y'all, if you're on my team, you've heard me say print off your steps to success, right? So I print them off, here's a month where I've got 5 distributors and I only got 2 loyal customers, So, I would do that. But here's the cool thing. So I've got this folder, right? Because I like to have it. Did you get the new calendar? It's got it right there. Isn't that cool? So Nicole, you could just do it right there, right? Did you get the new calendar?
I haven't got it yet, but maybe it came today.
The planner, I mean, yeah, okay, good. So you could put it in there, but yeah, so people put it in their phones. You could put it probably, I don't know if there's probably some way you could organize it with Reach. I don't know too, but so there's lots of different ways that you can keep track of your loyal customers and when they go in and how you check in on them, and even scheduling them out on your phone. You can do that too. So you could right away when they enroll, put them at the first month, 3 month, the 6 month, however you want to check in on them. Okay, any other tips for loyals? Okay, so then let's talk about recruiting. That's always the best one, right? People always want to know, what are we doing to recruit people? So as I talked about last week, I'm like, I got to figure out this Instagram thing. Instagram is just popping for some people, right? I mean, like, it's hot. And I never learned it because I didn't know it, which was so dumb. Of course I didn't know it. That's why I needed to learn it. So, so looking at this, so we've got a couple different ways we can do social media. We can do it in person. There's lots of different ways. So we can ask for referrals, loyal customers. If we're practicing really good retention with them, we can ask loyal customers to host a party for us, okay, if they're local. That's a really great way to get in front of brand new people. If you haven't asked your loyal customers yet that are new, or that are you're personally enrolled, that are local, hey, you've been using our products for a couple months. Could I ask you a question, or could I ask a favor of you? Or would you mind? I'm actually looking to book 3 parties in the month of January. Do you think you could host one party? Do you know any of your friends or family that might be interested in these health and wellness products like you are? And ask if they would host a party for you. So you can ask them. You can ask them for referrals. Do you know anybody else? Maybe you don't want to host a party, but you know, if you refer people to me and they become a customer, I'm more than happy to give you a free product in exchange, depending on the customer. You know, if you can refer two customers to me, I can give you a fat fighter. I mean, whatever you want to work out, it's your incentive program. Make it worth your while. But you can come up with something for yourself. And again, not your boss. I don't have to dictate what you give to them. Maybe it's a sample pack. Maybe it's a couple berry greens. Maybe it's a couple orange greens. Maybe it's a keto coffee. Hey, every loyal customer you refer to me, I can give you a little sample pack. Make it easy. So you can ask your loyal customers. You can be hosting parties. You can just ask people to host parties for you, okay? Getting in front of people is so important. You can do this in person. You can do this online, okay? I really think that we need to focus on getting back in front of people like this. I think it's important. I think one of the benefits to doing a party, whether it's online or in person, it's really fun. It's intimidating if you've not done it before. I know that it sounds scary, but it's really not. It's really fun. I mean, we're just really getting together and we're sampling a few products. That's all it is. Don't make it bigger than that. I share the wrap. I share the defining gel, the greens. I do a fat fighter demo, and then I talk about a couple other things, okay? So with the whole keto stuff, if you're into that, you can talk about that. You can talk about the shake, how that would align with the keto. You know, there's different things that you can just kind of incorporate, and you don't have to make it a big deal. So getting in front of people, because you can get in front of quite a few people in the same amount of time that it would take you to get in front of one person. If that's really, really not your thing, or you need to warm up to it, then schedule one-on-ones. You know, one-on-ones are a great way to talk to people too, and pique their interest level. Asking people, that requires the ask. That requires asking people too if they're interested in joining your business or trying your products. But you could do that, but then you can also do the social media. And so with social media, 2 of the things that I'm focusing on right now, and I would love to hear what you're doing for your business regarding social media or parties, getting in front of people personally. I'll share with mine really quick. I shared a little bit before, I believe. I'm doing the Instagram. I'm going in and I'm using we talked about the app, the Captivate app. I'm doing that to follow you guys. I haven't turned it on a few days because of Christmas. But on Christmas Eve, I woke up on the 24th and I had 150 pending people following me. I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't even sign up for this. I was like, I got to get in the shower. I got to do this. I gave them the phone to my husband. I said, go ahead and accept these people. Just look, make sure that they're not weird guys. Make sure they're not shady guys. And make sure they speak English. and make sure they're not already selling something. If they're like Thrivers or they're selling another business, I said don't add them, but the rest of the people go ahead and add. So he did that while I was in the shower. It took him the whole time. It was crazy. It was like a full-time job right there. But holy cow, that helps my business. So using that Captivate app, and then I'm going through and I've used the text replacement. I shared that last week, did I not? The text replacements. Yep. So I went ahead, Captivate, Nicole. So Captivate will help you follow people. I talked a little bit about how to operate that. Maybe I should put on a little video. Maybe I should do a video so everybody can just have access to it. But I think there's videos out there too. So I'm doing that, and then I'm going in and just using the text replacement and messaging people. And I'm just doing, there was Katie Sullivan. I watched her YouTube videos. Katie Sullivan, somebody to watch. I watched her videos. Claire Flores, which is kind of like piggybacks on Kate's. It's this kind of the same concept. And they go in and do these power hours, like 3 in the morning, 3 at night, these work power hours, I guess. And they go in and unfollow 20 to 30 people at a time. Okay, like at 10 o'clock, at 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, she sets an alarm. Now Morgan is more my speed. And she goes in 3 times a day and sets a timer for 10 to 15 minutes and just messages. And I thought to myself, I was talking with Stephanie, and I was talking with her. I said, I don't know why I have this all or nothing mentality with my business. I don't know why I was so hard on myself, because here I am holding myself to the Instagram. This is why I haven't done Instagram, because I'm like, you have to do this, or like my head will explode, right? Like, no, what are the repercussions? And so, and so I said, I'm going in, and even if I set the timer and I only have 10 minutes to message people, and if I only send out 7 messages, because I'm looking at their profile, making sure that it's, I'm looking to make sure that they don't sell something, or they weren't an old distributor, or they're not on my team, or you know what I mean? Kind of skimming through them at the time. What if I only send out 7? But I do that 3 times a day. That's 21 people that I messaged today that I didn't message yesterday. And you guys, your recruitment and your close and your business and your promotions and your pay raises, all of that relies on one thing. If you only do one thing that we talk about today, it is in the ask. You have to ask people to become your loyal customers. You have to ask people to join your business. If you are not doing that, then all the rest of this is not going to build as fast. That's it. You have to ask people. And if you're nervous, if you're scared, message me afterwards. Let's get over it. Because nobody's ever punched me through the phone. Okay? It's been cool. Like, I have not had my nose broken by messaging somebody. Them saying no. It's okay. I had one girl say, I used to do It Works. And that's why she was following me, because it was from way back ago when I opened up my account and I didn't do anything with it. She's like, but this is one of the reasons I got was because of people bribing and cold messaging. And my response to her was, and people being unethical. My response to her was, I am so sorry if I've offended you. Because if she's offended, it's not on me, it's her being offended. Because I'm not committing an offense. So I said, I am sorry that you were offended. And I said, I am so sorry, but I'm very ethical in my business. I have never bought, bribed, cheated, or tricked anybody. And I said, and it's not a cold message because you've been following me for quite some time. So I thought I would check in because you followed me for so long to see if you were interested. She didn't say anything back. But here's the deal. How is it a cold message if somebody's following me? I have a private account. If they choose to follow me, my assumption is that they choose to see what I'm posting because they're interested in what I'm doing. If they want to unfollow me, they can. And so I would love for you to have that same kind of mental attitude about these people. I do not message people that are not following me on Instagram. And I'm not even saying anything other than I am looking for a few product testers. I am looking, and I am actually picking something that's true about, I think that you're adorable. I think that your page is charming. I like your style. I'm looking for a couple more product testers. Those are all very true facts. and would you be interested? I can give you a huge discount. That's it. Okay, so we're messaging people. The other thing that when I flip over to Facebook is I have a business page. And so I've ran ads and I've done promoted posts and I've done all those things in my business, and that's worked well. It's not working well right now because of the way that Facebook is working. I don't care what you're doing, what industry you're in, Facebook is a little bit goofy right now. So we need to challenge it. We need to change the status quo, right? So, hey, Jennifer, good. I'm glad that it resonated with you because that's kind of how I had to wrap my brain around it. I'm not doing anything. I'm not picking somebody out of the cold blue sky and messaging them. So, anyway, so if they're on Facebook, what I'm doing is I have listened to Rachel Jones's YouTube video. I watched it. Jaree interviewed her. Anyways, what she's got going right now is a host to post. Have you guys seen that? And so, hey, Nicole, if you got any tidbits on the new algorithm, we would love to hear. I have not kept up on his stuff. But I'm doing the host to post, and basically all she's doing is she's printed off her friends list. We talked about it on our team page, how to print off your friends list. And so doing the friends list, printing it off so you can go through, because now you can clean it up too, right? You can go through your friends list, and if it's somebody that's just really not even a potential, you can unfollow them, and you can still send them a message. But now you don't have to have your news feed blogged up with them. Or you can unfriend them, depending on how it fits. Because I know that I just added randomly people throughout the years or throughout the months, and sometimes they're just really not a good fit. We're not a good fit for each other, so why are we Facebook friends, right? So you can clean up your Facebook as you go. And so, so you can do that, but then the host to post is basically just saying, hey, can I ask you a question? Would you mind posting for me? And by doing so, I can't remember how she words it. I have it saved right here, so we can listen to it together if you want. But we can, depending on how many people sign up or how many people get referred, I can give you a gift. I can give you a product. So basically, if a couple people sign up as a loyal customer, I can give you a free product or a free wrap or something like that. So that's your host to post. And so she talks about it in her YouTube video, and it's really great. So that's something that I'm trying to implement on Facebook to switch it up right now. And then in the meantime, so you can do that. You can go through your alphabet. You can go through your ABCs. I like the concept of printing out your friends list because it really gives you something tangible to work with. I'm a paper person too. It must be our generation, Robin. I keep a paper calendar. I have a calendar on my wall in my mudroom of the kids coming and going so we can look at it visually really quick. I have it in my phone too, but I'm more apt to, just like that, I'm more apt to look at it that way, and I like to write it and cross it off and touch it, So, so printing off your friends list to me is a good idea, but you could also go to your friends list and you could just keep track with a notebook where you left off. And just go through that. Go through all your A's, B's, C's, and then unfriend, unfollow, message as you go. And then you can do messages specifically like, hey girl, okay, I know you've been watching me. We've been Facebook friends now for 5 years. I am wondering why you have not joined my team yet. What is it going to take for you to join my team, because you're going to kill it? Those are the messages that you need to be bold with. Those are the messages that you need to put the ask out. I'll tell you what, 9 times out of 10 people are probably more flattered than they are offended if you said, listen, I know you've been watching me. I know we've been friends for 3 years. I've been checking up on your page. I think you would kill this. I want you in my business. Those things are not bad things. They're not spammy things. They're not questionable. They're flattering. I would probably be flattered if I was just Joe Blow on Facebook playing around, not running a business on it, and somebody said, you know what, Nick? I love your story. I think you are amazing. I love your posts. You have great hair. That would be a lie, I know. But if somebody were to say, Nick, you got great hair, I want you in my business, I might be like, whoa, okay, I want to be in her business. If they don't, but be genuine, right? If somebody said that, I'd be like, okay, now you're blowing smoke up my butt. But, I mean, be specific. And, ask them. Stop being so scared of the ask. That's what's going to grow your business. So, anything, you guys have anything for, we've been doing this for a month. It's helpful. I love this, Joe. I'm going to put this down too on my list. Asking loyals for reviews or testimonies on your wall. I love that. Hey, what do you use for the cleanse post? Joanne, do you mind sharing that? Can you copy and paste that? Do you have that on your phone?
Yeah, I definitely did. I did it on one of my power hours, and it was really helpful, and it kind of put people outside of their comfort zone too to ask that. But yeah, I'll put it down in there. And with the LC reviews, I make sure they post it on their wall and then tag me in it, because then
okay.
you cast a wider net out to their audience as well. And then too, like I just message them if they do it and say, you know, thanks so much. And it almost works almost the same way as host a post, where you start with a one-liner, like, can I ask you a question? Because people are dying of curiosity. And so it's the same sort of thing except with an LC. And as soon as they ask, they're like, sure, girl, I'd love to do that. You know, so it works out the same way. But yeah, let me grab that for you. I'll be right back.
Thank you. And it's true. I think people want to do you favors. I think people do want to help you. I think if somebody were to say to me, hey, would you do me a favor? Or, hey, I have a question for you. I would be like, okay, let me see. Yeah, what is it? How can I help you? What do you need? And then if they say, could you just post this? And you give them the post. Or they were to give me specifically, and all I had to do was copy and paste it onto my wall and be done in 3 nanoseconds. And they were like, I think I would be like, yeah, I would. As long as it was something I could stand behind, right? Somebody were to say, hey, I am really trying to get the word out about GMOs. Would you post this status for me? I would be like, yeah, I'm happy to help you with that. I might not know how to word it myself, but I will definitely copy and paste that for you, because it is no skin off my nose whatsoever, right? It's not a big deal. I'll do that for you. I think people are apt to do that. I think sometimes these fears and these worries, they're self-imposed. Those are things that we put on ourselves. And we need to be less fearful, because people are people. And I think that there's a lot of really good people out there, and people that want to help us. They might not want to join our team, but they might be really happy to do something. It might make them feel good to do something for somebody else, because they are doing you a favor. And so in turn, you're grateful and you're thankful, and you give them praise and thank them for that. But then you also, follow up with that. So I don't know how you need to follow up with all of that kind of stuff, but keeping a list, keeping a notebook, that kind of a thing. So those would be kind of like things for recruiting. So anybody else have anything? Cleanse. So Nicole, she's going to post that on this thread in just a second. So Nicole, are you still able to chat? Are you still on here? Can you share some of the algorithm things that you've learned recently with John Eric stuff?
Yes, I'm still on here. I was just doing dishes. So another thing with the host to post, I had a girl, it was back months ago. She posted something for me. She was a loyal customer, and she got so much interaction and feedback that she was like, oh, well, maybe I could do this business. I have people that are interested. So that is also a plus, that they may have never thought about doing this business, but because they had interaction, they were like, oh, I could do this. So with the algorithm, I've only watched 2 videos so far, but he makes it super clear that right now, everything is so goofy. When it comes to copying, pasting, anything like that, you have to be yourself, because Facebook is catching on with certain words, especially words I don't know, things that a lot of people use for our posts. You need to switch up the wording, because Facebook is starting to block it to where, nobody's going to see it. Mm-hmm. I'll have to go back, and I did take notes, but I'll have to find my notebook, and I can post something in on the page about it. Mm-hmm. But it's just super interesting that I was like, I don't know why I haven't been watching his videos about the algorithms before, but everything is just so goofy right now. And
I agree with you. And I think I've read something too. Somebody said something about don't use hashtags right now on Facebook.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why, because, we used to use hashtags and you can search by hashtags and everything. But they're saying don't even use the hashtags right now. So I don't even know. So I'm just trying to do it a little bit different.
So he was saying, like, if you just post like once to 3 times on your Facebook daily, like that is plenty. You don't want to post too much because that's when it starts blocking them. But to really use the story right now, because Facebook is pushing the story, and you could post 50 times in the story and it has nothing to do with like it won't block you because it's not the same algorithm. So basically use it as Snapchat, and Snapchat doesn't have an algorithm right as of now yet either. So yeah, definitely.
What doesn't have an algorithm, you said?
Snapchat.
Oh, yeah, that's another one. Do you use it?
Yeah. And I actually just signed a loyal customer yesterday for hair, skin, and nails on it.
So how are you? I know that you guys were going past an hour here, so if you have to pop off, you have to pop off. But how are you utilizing the Snapchat then?
So I make sure that, before I started using it for my business, I was always like, I would use it and then not use it, and then not use it. And so I finally was like, okay, I need to just use it all the time. And so now I really try and do. Facebook is more like your after pictures, whatever. So Snapchat would be like while you're cooking the food or while you're getting ready, while you're doing things rather than the after effect of it. And so I use a lot of for my greens and keto coffee constantly, like when I'm mixing it or taking a picture with my coffee cup, stuff like that. And then I do use it a lot for hair, skin, and nails as well. Just more for I'll post a before and after picture, and then I'll post a picture with my email saying that I just signed a loyal customer, and I'll say something about that. But you want to make sure that, people click through it all, constantly. They click through all of them, so they're going to see it. And the more that they see it, the more that it interests them. So you just want to make sure that it's not all business, but it still is intriguing and you're putting it out there.
How do you, when you're looking for people, so when I'm adding people on Instagram right now, especially I'm using the Captivate app, I'm going to people that artists or interior decorators or adoption, things that are in my genre, right? Things that and those are how I'm deciding kind of people to add. Are you private on Snapchat, or are you open, or how does that work, and how do you add different people? Do you look for them?
So Snapchat's a little different because you can't just really search people necessarily. There is a place to add from your contacts and stuff like that. So I do add that way. Every once in a while, I'll put my my Snap code on my Instagram story or my Facebook and get people to add me that way. But anytime I see people on Facebook put up their Snap code, I always save that as a picture and then add them. And then anybody that comments on it, because a lot of times people are like, hey, add me on Snapchat, here's my Snap code. Well, then people start commenting their Snap codes in the comments. So I'll add all those people, as long as, I don't usually add weird guys. And I've only actually had one person send me a bad picture, and so I blocked them. But I kind of just look and I just add people that way. In my groups, I'm part of a Firewife group, and a lot of people, someone posted, I didn't even post the thing about Snapchat, somebody else did. So I got to add all of those people that way. So I just kind of look for it. A lot of people have it in their bio on Instagram. So I'll screenshot that, and then at the end of the day, I'll just add them all. So yeah, I just constantly look for people's Snap codes and have been adding people that way.
Okay. Are you private or public?
think that I'm public. It's kind of different because I think you have to add people no matter what. Like, it shows up who adds you.
Oh, if you add them back. All I know is my daughter's on Snapchat. Right?
Yeah.
And so she wanted her location services, and I was like, oh, hail to the new year. You know?
Oh, yeah, no. I don't do that. That's blocked.
Well, she says the only way that people can see your location is if you add them back.
Yeah, but because I have so many random people on mine, I have mine on Ghost.
So that makes sense. So only if you add, she's like, if they add me, I can see their stuff. But they can't see my stuff until I add them back. So that's kind of how the follow thing goes.
Right, yeah.
Okay. All right.
I'm trying to think whose video I watched about Snapchat, and I was like, wow, I feel like I'm missing out on, especially for my age. There's so many people that are using Snapchat, so I felt like I was really missing out on a whole entire group of people that I should really reach out to. So I've just been trying to, especially keto coffee and greens. I'm constantly taking pictures with my greens or mixing, like a video of me mixing them, just stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But still keeping it personal.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good. That's good to know. Okay, is Jennifer still on here? You had your hand raised. I'm going to lower your hand. I don't know if you did that on accident. I'm going to unmute you, Jennifer. Oh, there. Jennifer?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I can hear you.
I raised my hand because you said raise your hand at one point.
Oh, way back when. I'm so sorry. See,
That's
so
okay.
Thank you. Okay. So, all right. So that's kind of it. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I think we could like do an afternoon of just talking about recruitment tips. But I think really, so we're going to have our Zoom at 3:05. So we're like an hour out, right? I mean, 2:10, we're less than an hour out. So I really, really, you're going to see this come out, okay? You're going to see this come out, and it might take a minute for your brain to wrap around it. And I want you to see the good that you can use in this for your business. And I want you to be prepared, and I want you to be somewhat organized. I am a very much fly by the seat of my pants person, if you don't know. I am a little OCD about like having my house clean and all that kind of stuff and whatever, but I am also really like kind of like here and there and all over the place. I'm kind of a disorganized, organized mess. And so I think, I have lists and lists and lists. They're just not organized. So I have some organizational skills scattered throughout. My purpose, my goal for the next week or so is to really streamline it. And I want you guys to think about your systems for your teams. Think about your systems for your business. Think about how you're going to retain, how you're going to recruit, and how you're going to utilize what we have so that you can continue to improve upon your revenue, the income that's going to come in, because we're getting ready to explode. We are truly getting ready to explode. January, February is always like rocket season anyways, and I think your business is going to be what you make of it. I think you can see from some of these YouTubes, if you've watched like any of these YouTubes from these people that we've talked about with Rachel Jones or Katie Sullivan or Morgan McIntyre, any of these people, and you look at other leaders too, there's no slow season. The slow season is when you decide that it's a slow season. I mean, I promoted to Triple Diamond on Halloween when I promoted to Triple Diamond. I've promoted in February. I've promoted in October. I've promoted in August. I've promoted in May. I mean, I've promoted around the whole calendar. It doesn't matter. It's what you make of it and what you decide it to be. So you guys can really push your business to the next level, depending on how much you're going to put into it. So with all of this being said, I also want you to, last but not least, is to open up your schedule and look at it and decide what you want to put into this. Okay. So I don't care if you're looking on your phone or if you have to look at it like this and do a month out in advance and schedule out those days or those times that you can't do anything. That's not a business time. That's a family time. I want you to have time with your loved ones. If you have a hobby or something that you love, don't give it up because I need you to keep your passion about life and what you're doing and where you're going. Okay? I know that we say there's a season, there's no BV in TV. Okay? I don't believe there is. I don't watch a lot of TV shows. That was something easy for me to give up. If there is one show a week that you love, watch it. You didn't hear it here. But guys, I don't want you to give up who you are as a person for this business. Don't trade your soul for this business. I'm not asking you to do that. But what I'm asking you to do is find those places that you can make those little tweaks. Make them there. Make them say what is really a priority and what isn't. I don't have any shows that are a priority. I don't even know the last time that I've turned on the TV for myself, to be honest with you. I actually told my husband, I said, let's get rid of our TV for a year, like for the kids. And he's like, you flipping lost it, girlfriend. So that's not going to happen. But I don't know. I feel like for me, I feel like that would be really good for my kids. Like, I feel like that's wasted time because they could read a book or do something different, right? That they don't do. But figure it out for yourself. What is it non-negotiable? What's something that you're not going to compromise on, and figure out those things that you are. Because I know that you can find time for this business. I mean, Joanne's sitting here at freaking work every time on these Zooms, right? And now she is the type of job that she can. Some of you can't if you have a job. I understand that. I get it. But when I was teaching, my lunch hours, I could work and I could text people. I could, at my lunch hours, I could eat and make phone calls. You know, I could find an extra hour there. I can schedule calls on my way home from work. So just figure out where if you compartmentalize, then you can have it all. I know you can have it all. I know you can have your family time, your friend time, your fun time, and your work time. And you don't have to put in a gazillion hours a week at this, but you do have to put some time into it. So, all right, that's that. It's kind of not a Zoom anymore. It's kind of me talking at you, but I hope it's beneficial. I hope it's helpful. Thank you guys for sharing. If you didn't get a chance, go to the chat really quick. I'll leave it open for a minute. And there's a HSN post and a cleanse post. If you haven't copied and pasted it to your notes toward the bottom. Thank you, Joe, for sharing that. Nicole, I'm going to tell you in 40 minutes. Denise will probably talk most of the time because that's her, but actually, yeah, 50 minutes. 50 minutes we're going to share it with you. And I'm excited. Now, here's the deal. We're going to tell you this on the Zoom. You can't post it yet on your social media because it's not really launched till tomorrow. Mark and Pam and them said that we could share it with our teams today. So this is cool. Now, unless they switch it up on us and they go live themselves. But what's cool is it's not even going to start until tomorrow morning. So this gives you some time tonight to kind of like wrap your brain around it. And we'll ask questions and we'll be on the pages and we'll be there. So. All right, I'm gonna leave this open for a second, and I copied it, so if you need it, let me know. But you guys, I'm super excited for you. I feel like it's a new year. I really do. I feel like it's 2018 already. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to crush this year. This is going to be my spike year. I've been kind of plateauing the last couple years because I let my time management get in the way, and I've had new babies, but I'm finding balance. And so think of your word. Think of your goals, think of your strategy, your schedule, and how you're going to do this, because you can. You can do all of this without being overwhelmed if you just put it down to paper and you just organize and you strategize and you plot it out, then it can happen for you. So, and Brooke is going ambassador. That's right. I'm so excited. Guys, I'm ready for you all to be VIP. Are you kidding me? Like, I'm ready for everybody to just, like, seriously be making, I don't know, what do you guys want to make? $30,000 a month? I'm ready for it. Like, seriously, think about what $30,000 a month feels like. Just get ready for it. Be ready for it because it can be yours. Just waiting for your hands. Keep your hands open. So, all right, guys, I'll see you soon. So excited. All right, bye-bye.